Is everything okay, Steve?
Perfect.
Okay, here in Barcelona too. Hello, Mr. Steve Hogarth. This is Jordi Tàrrega from Barcelona, writing for Popular One magazine in Spain. First of all, thank you for your time and congratulations for your new live album, An Hour Before It's Dark, live in Port Zeeland. It's in Holland, I think. Yeah?
Yes, near to Rotterdam. It's actually a holiday camp, Center Parks.
I have seen the entire footage, and I think that is more than a concert. This is an experience.
Well, I hope so. I mean, all our concerts are experiences. Well, they are for me.
It was a three-night show, three shows in a row.
Yes, it's something we've been doing now every 2 years for quite a while, probably over the last decade. We've been playing this place in Port Zeeland where people can come and stay. So it's like a holiday place. And we buy the entire estate for the weekend, and the people fly in from all over the world. I mean, last time I think we had 42, 44 countries were attending. So Brazilians, people from Chile, Colombians, Americans, Canadians, all over Europe, Australians, Japanese. They fly to this place and they stay there for the whole weekend. And we play 3 shows in a row, and they're all completely different shows. And usually on one of the shows, we will perform an entire album. And because An Hour Before It's Dark was still very new at that point, we played the whole of that. And this is a recording of that.
What people know as the Marillion weekend. I remember you play once in Barcelona, a Marillion weekend, but it was just 2 nights, I think.
Right. Right. I am, if I'm honest, I'm struggling to remember because we've done so many of them.
Okay,
Where did we do that? I'm trying to think where we would have done that. I think we're coming back though to do another one next. No, we're doing it in Girona next March.
oh yeah, really? Oh,
Yeah,
in-
yeah, we're coming back to do another one.
a weekend.
A weekend,
Wow.
yes.
Hmm. Sounds fantastic. I got friends in Girona. It's closer from here. I don't know if you have been in Girona. It's one of the most beautiful places in Spain.
It's lovely. Yeah, I've been once, but unfortunately, when I was there for a show, and I didn't get a really good look around it. But I did a little piano and voice show there at a record fair. God, probably about 12 years ago, or maybe more. And Hugh Cornwell from the Stranglers was actually opening for me. Um, And I remember talking to him saying, "What on earth are you doing opening for me, man?" And he was very nice. But that was in Girona.
It was a question that I had to ask later because in 4 or 5 days you are going to announce your upcoming weekends.
Hmm.
So
Well, have we not announced them yet? I might be in trouble for telling you.
okay, okay. Okay, let's go to the DVD. I, I got a question. 3 shows, but it's only one DVD, one night.
Yeah,
What and the other nights?
I can't even remember what we did the other nights, if I'm honest. No, no idea. Can't remember. We thought it would be nice to capture what is our new album, really, um, and present that as a live version of it. So that's why.
Okay. In the beginning of the show, we can read in capital letters, "Save us from ourselves." Is a bleak sentence, so we are living hard times.
Well, you've only got to turn on the television and look at the news. You know, we're crazy. We're really crazy. I mean, we're destroying the planet anyway, but not content with just destroying the planet and not doing anything about it. We're also busy waging wars on each other, um, which, from the point of view of the further destruction of the planet, is insane. It's completely insane, what's going on in the world at the moment. I don't know what's come over us. It's like it's like everybody's just forgotten that we're all just people and we're essentially exactly the same. We all have the same wants and needs. You know, we all need to eat, we all need love, we all get upset. Um, we all grow old and we all drop dead, you know, eventually. And there's we're all the same. And why on earth there has to be all this division in the world? And why nobody seems able to see that we're destroying the planet so completely? It just makes my head swim. So this album, An Hour Before It's Dark, is really about that. It was written during the pandemic while everybody here was locked down in England. So we were going to the studio during the lockdown and working on this album. So this music was all born out of that crisis. And so it's a crisis album, really. There's a lot on the album that is about environmental issues and also about materialism. The monkey wants a new toy, you know, the monkey wants a new toy always, and another, and another, and another. And we haven't really come too far from the monkeys, really. Not really, no distance. And some of us think we have come quite a long way, but we haven't.
One of the highlights of the show is when the crowds start to sing Afraid of Sunlight once you finish the song. That moment is amazing.
There's always the most incredible atmosphere at those weekend shows because everybody there is really, really hardcore fans, and they're hardcore from everywhere in the world. Um, and probably during the day, they've all been hanging out together and they've had a few drinks together, and maybe the night before they've been together because they're staying there and they don't have to drive home or get a train home afterwards. They're living on the site. So the feeling in the place is quite incredible for the entire weekend. You've just got 3,000 or so like-minded human beings from all over the world, all just going like that together, sharing their enthusiasm for the band, sharing their point of view about life. And then, of course, when they're all together watching the show, there's a they're so engaged in the whole idea of being there and of being there for the music that the atmosphere and the vibe is just unreal.
I have to confess that Fear and An Hour Before It's Dark are my favorite Marillion albums. I mean,
That's great.
it is not common that a band that is playing from the early 80s is making amazing albums nowadays, I think.
No, it's quite unusual. The reaction to both of those albums has been really positive. And everybody's said that, and I can only agree. It's quite unusual for a band that's been around for 40 years to be making its what some people consider to be its best work at the end. Um, so that's a good feeling for us, you know. It's great that we're not just taking this cow, you know, that is Marillion and milking it and monetizing it. And a lot of artists, you know, they get old and they just carry on going round and round playing the old stuff, trying to make a living, trying to get by. but we're not really like that. We are very, very focused on the art, for want of a better word. You know, the music that we make, that we're writing, that we're creating. That is the thing we take most care of. Um, and we take a lot of time over that as well. It's quite normal for us to be in the studio for, a year and a half, 2 years making these records. And we're just about to start work on the next one. And we won't come out of the studio until it's the best thing we've ever done. That's what we're trying to do each time. And who knows if it will be, but if it isn't, it's not because we weren't trying.
So we can say that Marillion is at his best moment. I feel you free. You've got freedom to do
That's
what
true.
you want, and you are enjoying it. I remember your last concert in Barcelona, and was amazing. And I remember the the Fear show was really good too. Amazing album, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There's so much of myself invested in these things, because I write all the words, and the statements are extremely personal to me, and they're all true things. And as I've got older, of course, I'm at an age now where I'm not really writing love songs, because that's not where I am. I'm 68 years old next week. So there's kind of not a lot of love songs for me to write anymore. So I tend to be focusing more on the world, and on how I feel about um, social justice and justice in general. Really, that tends to be more what I'm writing about these days. So these albums are more to do with um, the times we live in than I love you and you love me, and isn't it great? 1, 2, 3. I'm a long way past that now.
Okay, when you play in Barcelona, you always have a guest playing, Pep Sala.
The fabulous Pep. Yeah, he's a good friend. And so we also have a mutual friend called Gabriel Perez. And I've known him for, I don't know, 20, 30 years, maybe more now. And I know his family. And Gabriel, at one time, managed the Palo San Jordi, actually. Um, and so he had quite a bit of power at that point, because he was managing this big gig. And he would always use his power to do good things. And he would set up charitable gigs, and promote shows where the money is going to build schools in the third world, or for eye operations in the third world. The kids who have problems that can easily be fixed, but they can't afford to fix them. And Gabriel's amazing. He does a lot of work for homeless people as well in Spain. And whenever he phones me, I just say yes before he asks me the question. It's like, what do you need? Yes. I don't care what it is. Where do you want me and when? Because um, he's done so much beautiful work, and it's a great privilege to just come and help him. And I think Pep feels the same way. So whenever I come to Barcelona, Pep's usually around. I did a couple of solo shows recently. I played the Ludegath in Barcelona, and I played a little gig in Madrid as well. I can't remember the name of that one. And that was all for a charity which operates on children's eyes I think this was Chad in Africa. And this was just for that, and so Pep came and sang his big hit. Um, he has that huge hit that everybody knows in Catalonia, doesn't he? And so he always gets up and sings that. that makes a bit of money for the kids. And I've been around Pep a lot now. I really like him. He's a very nice guy. So it's always fun to be hanging with him.
I attended one of your solo shows. It was Christmas in Barcelona, Ratzmatas 3,
Right.
and was really was we were closer with you. We can ask you everyone we won, and you answer all the and you play a lot of cover songs.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I do these solo shows. Um, I usually do them at Christmas. And the idea of them really is to try and turn up without a plan, without a set list. Um, Usually I maybe will rehearse 50 songs so that I know how to play them just in case it feels like the right moment. Um, and then, I'll sit down and go, well, here I am. What are we going to do? Are we just going to talk to each other, or shall I play some music, or shall I read from my diary? Do you want to ask me a question? Um, I usually have a Christmas tree on stage so people can come put a bauble on the tree in between yeah, have a drink, have a tequila. So this is like a family event, really, rather than a gig. It's like a happening. And I like the idea of no two shows ever being the same. They're always different. That's quite scary for me because it means I'm never really quite sure what I'm doing. And when you're a performer, especially if you've played a lot with a band, Marillion usually rehearse over and over and over and over again before a tour, and so that by the time we go on stage, it's in our subconscious and it's in our bones. I don't do that. I do the opposite of that. I go on stage terrified, thinking, what am I going to do? It's like the opposite of that. And I play lots of notes on the piano that are wrong because I don't think anybody cares. I think they'd rather see something that's really being pulled out of the air and that is real, even if it's not perfect. So that makes it very scary. I get very nervous for those shows because I don't know what I'm doing, but they're always good at the end.
In the concert in Barcelona, you told us that as a child you started singing in a TV show in which they gave you chocolate and you quitted when they stopped giving you chocolate.
No, that wasn't a TV show. It was a choir that I was in, quite a famous choir in England. The guy who ran the choir, he used to be on the radio on the BBC, so he's quite a famous guy. And he had a boys' choir that he selected individuals from all the different schools, and I was in his choir. And yeah, when he stopped bringing the chocolates, I stopped going. So I was always quite a mercenary character.
How do you remember your hiding for Marillion? It had to be hard because Fish left the band and he was somebody really special for the Marillion fans.
Yeah, well, I can hardly remember it. It was what, like 40 years ago now? No, not quite. 30. How long has it been? 35 years, 36 years, 35 years.
35.
So hard to remember, but everybody asks me this question really, and I think that what the band was looking for was a new music, a new thing, and if they'd have said to me, look, here's our last album and it sounds like this, and this guy called Fish is a really big deal and the fans love him, and um can you be like that? Can you do that? I would have just said no, and that would have been the end of it. I would have said, nice to meet you, but I'm not the guy you're looking for. But they weren't looking for that. They were looking for someone. I mean, what they said to me, I said, "What do you want me to do?" And they said, "Well, we've heard what you do. We've heard the songs you write. We've heard you sing, and we like it. and we'd like you to do what you do, and we'll do what we do, and we'll see what happens. So right from the very beginning, from the first day, it was presented to me as an experiment, not as a marketable product. The rest of the band weren't really focused on that. And they're still not. They're focused on the music and on expressing themselves and on trying to create something special and never looking back ever. I mean, when we're writing, if we're in the studio and we've got an idea going and somebody says, you know what, this sounds a little bit like blah, something we did before, it goes straight in the bin. We're not interested in becoming self-conscious and churning out the same stuff year after year. That's boring. I mean, it's like a prison sentence. I feel a bit sorry for Mick Jagger coming on stage every night, prancing around, singing Brown Sugar and Honky Tonk Women. I mean, I know it means that they can play massive stadiums and make loads of money, but it must be a bit boring. I mean, when you've done that for 50 fucking years, it must be soul destroying. So that's not really what we're about.
Um, I have read that you have in your first time with Marillion, you have to rehearse in the Pete Treuava's house, and he had some cats, and you are allergic to cats.
It's true. I couldn't go in his house. So I'd come round to meet them to my audition, which didn't really feel like an audition anyway, and I refused to go in. So I was always difficult right from the very beginning. And I turned up a day late.
Excuse me, I got my kid. Just a
I
moment.
have
¿Qué pasa?
people.
Deixa'm 10 minuts. Així, vale, perfecte, així. Sorry, my girlfriend is out and he is his supper, but everything is okay.
It's fine, but I have another interview in 5 minutes.
Oh,
So
you got the best questions now. Finishing, which is the first album you bought with your own money?
which is the last album I bought with my own money?
The first album you bought.
First album I bought with my own money was Hard Day's Night by the Beatles.
It's a good choice, I think.
It was a long time ago. I was 7.
You've got a song called Gaza. So it's incredible because the story remains the same. And the lyrics, I read the lyrics today, and it's doesn't matter 15 years ago or now.
It's just worse now, that's all. It's got a lot worse. I mean, what's going on there is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Women and children being slaughtered, tens of thousands. I mean, it's barely possible to imagine that can be happening in 2024 in this day and age. Incredible. Don't get me started. I know that Hamas, what Hamas did in Israel on October the 7th was appalling and disgusting and unforgivable and a provocation. But the reaction to it has been completely out of all proportion to the problem. It's been unreal, really. It's been the entire population of Gaza has been punished for the acts of maybe 500 people, maybe fewer than 500 people. So I don't know what Netanyahu is doing. I think his own brother was killed in by a Palestinian bomb many years ago, and I think it's personal. And I think he won't really be happy till he's wiped those people off the map, and it can't be allowed to continue.
Okay, the last one, Marillion was the complete name was Silmarillion, was from Lord of the Rings. I interviewed with Silly Tungol, a heavy metal band that take his name from Tolkien. So I want to ask you about if you like Tolkien.
Not especially, if I'm honest. I used to drink in a pub that he used to drink in Oxford because he used to meet up with a couple of other guys in the Eagle and Child in Oxford to drink back in the old days, and that's about as connected to Tolkien as I ever got. I read The Hobbit once. I think I got to about page 12 and threw it away. That was it. Not for me.
Okay, Steve, I will look for the hotel in Girona soon. So I got friends there, but I want to go. I suppose you are going to play in La Mirona. So
I think so.
yeah, I suppose I will look for a hotel in March and hope to see you there.
Yes, do come. It'll be amazing.
Fantastic. See you and thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have another one now.
Mm.
So there we
So
are.
so
At least, was that your little boy or a girl?
yeah. He was crying. So
Yeah.
it's good to end.
It,
So it's
he'll be happy now. You can go and look after him.
yeah. But I'm happy to talk with you. Really, it was something that I wanted to do. Bye bye.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Bye bye.